All right, now I'm going to show you everything else, all our extras. So this is going to be our history spine. I know it doesn't exactly go with Ambleside Online, but we had already started history and we are already part way through this book. So we're going to continue with America Story 2, and I will likely get America Story 3. I like that it's already set up in a very Charlotte Mason style that has short readings, and I like that it has pictures and stuff to go with it, and maps that my son really enjoys. It has narration breaks at the end of each reading section. So this I will assign to him on his own, and he has a little book where he's going to write his own narrations in there when he's finished. And then this one, I do have the teacher's manual that has extra things you can do. We will only do select activities for this. We're not doing a timeline yet. But it does have lots of nice map adventures. And I was surprised they have artist studies and stuff like that in here, which is a nice little bonus. There's not a ton of those, but they're in here. So that's history. Here's his Bible. This is from Generations curriculum. And they do sell a workbook. I'm not that interested in workbooks, honestly. So he'll have 1 to 2 stories per week from here. And what I liked about this is that it doesn't just cover baby stuff. It's like, like 2 drafts and, boarding onto the ark kind of stuff. I like that it goes through real stories and gives them the nuts and bolts of the Bible. And each year they go all the way through the Bible, covering slightly different material, some of it duplicate, some of it different. And then again, once he finishes his short reading, he'll do a Bible narration and write that down. Excuse me. All right, geography. So we are doing from Ambleside, Men of Mississippi. This isn't a very big book, but this will be all year long because the story part is pretty in-depth. And this is just a beautiful book. It's amazing. The artwork is very nice. And it's hard to see with my flip through, but there are all kinds of little details written all around the sides for them to look at with extra information, extra maps. And then he is doing other geography readings from the Ambleside on geography. And there's only a few, like 1 every other week or so, something like that, from either one of these. And the readings are very short. And then this one I will have him read on his own, which is just the nuts and bolts of geography. And it's alphabetical order, obviously, A to Z. And this is a good reference. So I'm going to have him read this at the beginning of the year, and then he can reference it as he needs it throughout the year. And then we're going to continue with the 50 states, which we've been working on since last year. And we're using this with the Memoria Press program, which is just a bunch of maps where you write in the details and a little information about each state. So we had another one of these, I think, something like Tell Me About the 50 States or something like that. But I like this one because I love the beautiful pictures. I don't like dull and boring. So that's that. Moving on to science. As I said in another video, we are doing chemistry. And I wanted to him to have a little bit of a hands-on experiment portion to go with his science. So these lessons are real short. I mean, you can see this is one whole lesson right here. And sometimes they have experiments, sometimes they don't. So the experiments are in these little blue boxes. And you can get the worksheets that go with these for free so they can record whatever it is they're working on. So this curriculum has 3 books. I think that now they sell it all as one program. instead of breaking it up. And I think it's supposed to be one per term, but we are using this one for most of the year. And then at the end of term 3, we'll move on to properties of ecosystems and probably use this for most of next year, because I think we're going to do global geography as our main theme, along with global cooking and other fun stuff. I did that with my daughters. It was one of their favorite years. And then he has a couple independent reads for science. So that's it for science. For our art study, he's going to be doing Turner, Rembrandt, and Michaelangelo. I love these Simply Charlotte Mason portfolios. So they come with a booklet for the teacher. In the beginning, there's a biography. So I'm going to do this when I do the read alouds, the biography portion. And then it has a little tidbit to help walk through doing the picture study for each one, different information, questions you can ask them. And the pictures are 8 by 11. They're very nice. I usually, whatever one we take that we're working on, I take it out and I put it on the fridge for the week and then just change it out each week. So that's picture study. And I don't have anything visual for our musician study. And then our foreign language, we will be continuing the Storybook Latin fables. And we are moving through this really slow. So it seems like we're doing a lot, but I do really small lessons. So we will just move through this and take as much time as we need so that he memorizes all of the paradigms. I'm not going to just force him to move through when he doesn't understand or he hasn't memorized a paradigm yet. But he has been enjoying this. The little picture cards that go with it are nice. So this one has a teacher's manual, which is a replication of the student manual. And then it comes with a set of flashcards. I can't see this here. But yeah, it has pages and pages of flashcards, which you have to cut up yourself. These come in handy. The back side has what they are. And then I also have the tests that go with these. And these all you can order separately. I think this is from Logos Press, which is, they're in Idaho or someplace like that. And they have their own school system. And so that will be Monday through Thursday, foreign language. And then on Friday, we are going to do very tiny lessons in Spanish, just to start to get some familiarity with the Spanish. So probably 15 minutes once a week on Spanish concepts, which I assume he'll take as he gets older. I took French, which is not very useful here in Texas. So I'll start with that. And then moving on to our extracurriculars. He loves cooking ever since we did Montessori, where I help the kids chop vegetables and make soup and do fine dining and set the table. He has really been into cooking. So we are going to actually learn to cook, learn kitchen safety, knife safety, learn to chop, learn different types of methods like making roux, purees, the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to take a few recipes from these. These are more for reference, but I'm using some videos online. I think it's from the makers of Cuisinart Culinary School or something like that. It has 6 videos that go over the very basics. And then I will add in some other stuff as I go. So I love cooking, so I don't mind doing this. He's going to do a lot of these French recipes as we learn to chop scallops and ratatouille. This one has multiple ratatouilles in it, which is fun. So yeah, lots of cooking. Then for our handicrafts, I got him origami. I'm still not ready for him to learn whittling yet. I'm not there, so we're doing origami for now. I'll probably add something else later on in the year. And then for art, in addition to the art that comes with the English program, so he has his pastels for the other art. These are well loved. And then he wanted to learn drawing, so we're going to work on some drawing as well. And I'll just let him choose each week what we're doing for our art and for our handicrafts. And then just my teacher helps. I'm using this to help with our Shakespeare memorization. That's more for me, not him. And then for our nature study, I think we're starting with reptiles this year, and it goes into more geography-based stuff. But I'm just kind of working this year on his power of observation. So when we go outside to observe, I'll just ask him questions like, where is the sun right now in the sky? Well, which direction is that? Where is your shadow in relation? And just ask him a bunch of questions in order to lead him into thinking about those things. And then I want to get him a smaller nature journal, like a little tiny pocket-sized one that he can put in his back pocket and pull out and jot down his observations. And then we'll do a little bit more formal. This is one he did. We found in our garden this carrot. It was so tiny and cute, but they were wrapped around each other like they were hugging, and he thought it was cute. So he labeled his carrot. So that one was not just a couple weeks ago. And then I have a whole set of these, which is nice just for reference. I have lots of reference books. I have a whole book on birds, but I really like this series. It's cute and it's fun. I wish it had a better way to index what it is you're looking for. It can be kind of hard because there's so many books finding what exactly you're looking for, but that's that. And I think that's all of our stuff, which seems like way more than enough. So, thanks.